started. Welcome to the Township of Monroe Planning Board. It's January 22, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Please stand and face the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, it is hereby announced and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the following: posted on the bulletin board of the office of the Township Clerk, posted on the bulletin board within the municipal complex, printed in the Home News Tribune and Cranberry Press on December 26, 2025, posted on the Monroe Township website, and sent to those individuals who have requested personal notice. Laura, please do the roll.
Mr. Rothman?
Here.
Ms. Brodsky? Here. Mr. Manesh Patel?
Here.
Ms. Damiani?
Here.
Mr. Slavacek?
Here.
Mr. Weiner? Dr. Kenzie? Mr. Butinsky?
Here.
Councilman Markel?
Here.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Here.
Mr. Gaffrey?
Here. Okay, we always do in January, we renominate the members of the planning board. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Slavacek to do the nominations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to make a nomination to Mr. Mark Gaffrey, nominated for chairperson.
Second.
Do we have any other nominations? Can I have a motion to close nominations?
Motion.
So moved.
Mr. Rothman?
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Is Mr. Butinsky being called tonight?
Usually.
Okay. Mr. Butinsky?
Are you?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Gaffrey?
Yes.
Okay.
Take over.
Take over.
Okay, next up is vice chairman, and I want to announce the nomination of David Rothman as vice chairman. Is there a motion?
Seconded.
Any other nominations? Motion to close nominations?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Rothman?
I'll have to say yes.
Brodsky? Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey?
Yes. Okay, next I'd like to announce the nomination of Peter Vignolo as planning board attorney.
Second.
Okay, any other nominations? Okay, motion to close nominations.
Move to close.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Rothman?
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey?
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you all. Look forward to working with you.
You made it.
Okay, next I'd like to announce the nomination of Mark Razumowitz as planning board engineer. Is there a motion?
moved.
Second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Motion to close nominations.
Motion.
Mr. Rothman?
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey?
Yes. Okay,
Thank you, board.
Thanks. I'd like to announce the nomination of Chris Dockney as planner. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any other nominations? Motion to close nominations.
What did we just vote?
So moved.
Mr. Rothman?
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's Representative, Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey.
Yes. And finally, I'd like to announce the nomination of Laura Zaluski as Secretary of the Planning Board. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, any other nominations? Motion to close nominations.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Rothman,
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky,
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Damiani,
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek,
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky,
Yes.
Councilman Markel,
Yes.
Mayor's Representative, Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, there are two applications.
Rules and regs? Rules and regs and dates.
Okay.
Motion to approve the rules.
Okay, motion to approve the rules and regulations.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Rothman,
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky,
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Damiani,
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek,
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky,
Yes.
Councilman Markel,
Yes.
Mayor's Representative, Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey.
Yes. Okay, and finally, there is, to approve the dates of the planning board meetings. Everybody should have received, the calendar from Laura. Is there a motion to accept?
I make a motion to
Is there a
accept.
I
second?
second it.
Second.
Any discussion?
Second.
Mr. Rothman,
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky,
You're ahead of the game.
Ms. Brodsky,
Again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Damiani,
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek,
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky,
Yes.
Councilman Markel,
Yes.
Mayor's Representative, Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey.
Yes. Okay, as I, Laura circulated the minutes, and I hope everybody's had a chance to review them. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Is there
I
a
make a
second?
motion to.
Second.
I second it.
Okay, any discussion?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstained.
also.
And I'm going to abstain as well. Okay, now we'll get to the applications. There are two on tonight, and we're going to handle it in the order that they appear on the agenda. So the first one is PB 1194-17, 700 Highway 33 LLC. It's a request for preliminary and a final.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Salvatore Alfieri, Cleary, Giacobbe, Alfieri, and Jacobs on behalf of the applicant. The principal use of the Extreme Machines business is located primarily in Millstone Township. This is the property that's behind the Monroe Township, Millstone Township property that we're seeking the site plan approval for. And the use that we're proposing here is accessory or an ancillary to the main use in Millstone. We have three witnesses that we're presenting. Rob Siv is our engineer. We have a representative who will provide operational testimony from the owner, and then our planner is John Tykina. And we're starting with Mr. Siv, if we could have him sworn in, please.
And just, Mr. Alfieri, for the record, this application was previously before the board in February of 2025. I think for all the parties concerned, it would be best to start over. Would we agree that we're going to begin anew, and that way we don't need to worry about members who are absent having reviewed transcripts and
Yeah, yes, thank you. I neglected to mention that. And we really didn't get far that night, so nothing was really accomplished. So it would be prudent for us all to start as if nothing happened in the past. We're going to cover everything anew.
Perfect. Great. Thanks.
Thank you.
If you could raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you're going to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
If you could state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address for the record, please.
Sure. Robert Siv, S-I-V as in Victor E. Crest Engineering, 100 Reich Drive, Millstone, New Jersey. I'm a licensed professional engineer and professional planner, testifying tonight as a professional engineer. I have over 30 years experience in the engineering field, graduate of NJIT. I have testified before this board as well as numerous other boards throughout New Jersey.
Thank you. Credentials are accepted.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Siv, would you orient the board? You heard my introduction about where this property is located in relation to the Millstone tract. Could you orient the board in a little more detail about what this property is and where it is in relation to the main use.
Sure, I have a rendering. It was marked as an exhibit. We're going to start, I guess, new exhibit number.
It'll be Exhibit A1 again.
okay.
It was Exhibit A1 last
Sorry.
February, and it'll be Exhibit A1 on the 22nd of January this year.
Perfect. So it's A1. I have it on the board. I also have handouts if it's easier for everybody to see the handouts. I'll pass them out real quick.
We can share. Yeah, we can share. You need some more?
All right. You got another one done?
Yeah, another one? Any other?
The exhibit is an aerial photo of the site with the property boundary marked in red and then some of the adjacent uses around the property. The site is a bit unique in that it is created or identified as 3 tax lots, one of which is in Millstone and 2 are in Monroe. Lot 2.01 is in Millstone and has an area of approximately 3.4 acres, and lots 2.12, which has an area of about 0.83 acres, and lot 2.13, which is also in Monroe, has an area of about 10.33 acres, for a total lot area of 14.56 acres. There's 3 lots, 2 of them are in Monroe, 1 is in Millstone. The total lot area, like I said, is 14.5 acres approximately, with the Monroe lots in the highway development zone. A portion of the site was the subject of a 2001 board approval, which granted variance and site plan approval to construct a 34,600 square foot 2-story commercial building, associated paved parking, circulation driveways, and a stormwater management basin. These site improvements were constructed in roughly 2003, 2004, with most of the site improvements in Millstone. The majority of the site, as I said, is currently in Millstone and is utilized by Extreme Machine, which is a sales and service business for motorcycles and small recreation vehicles. The operator that will get into the specifics of the operations in a little bit. And then there is a small portion of the building, which is the west side of the building, which is used for Dunkin' Donuts. In approximately 2005, 2006, the applicant installed a 10-foot high fence, which encloses the majority of the rear yard area, and then paved the portion of this area, which is currently being used for the storage of merchandise related to the Extreme Machine operations. So looking at that rendering, you'll see there's a dashed greenish blue line that cuts diagonal across the back of the property. From that dashed line to Route 33 is the Millstone lot. And as you can see, that's the majority of where the site improvements are currently located, within the Millstone portion of the property. Then the smaller lot is the small triangle piece behind that dashed line. And then there's a large lot, which is undeveloped, which is the larger lot, which is 2.12.
Could you point that out on the chart?
Sure. I'm pointing it on the aerial, but I'll do.
Okay.
So this is the dashed line that's the municipal boundary. This is the part of the property that is in Millstone.
Gotcha.
Then there's the lose my. Oh, there we go. This is the triangle part. That's the smaller lot that's in Monroe. And then you have the larger lot. I think I'm losing my battery here, which is the larger lot of 2.12 in the back. So what the applicant's proposing to do is remove some of the pavement in the back of the property. Thanks. Remove some of the pavement in the back of the property and then install a 7,000 square foot storage building. And what that will do is take a lot of the merchandise and material that's in the back of the property that's stored outside and put it inside a building. So we are proposing to eliminate a lot of the, well, actually all of the cargo boxes that are out there today, take that merchandise stored inside a storage building, and then remove more pavement than that is there today. So we're actually going to decrease our impervious coverage. That really is the application in a nutshell, is taking that outside storage and creating a storage building for it.
So a couple follow-ups, Rob. One of the questions or comments from the board professionals was the consolidation of the 2 Monroe Township lots as a condition of approval. The applicant would agree to do that, correct?
Correct. We would consolidate the smaller lot in Monroe with the larger lot and create one large lot, correct?
Right, and then by the consolidation of those lots, there would not be an impervious coverage issue with regard to the zoning ordinance, is that correct?
That is correct.
Also, can you describe the drainage, how the drainage currently operates and how it will operate if this were approved?
Sure. There is a existing detention basin, which is the grassed area in the center portion of the rear part of the property that was constructed as part of the original building and site plan. That drainage basin will stay and will continue to serve the property as well as the proposed improvement.
The board professionals have issued reports. The most recent one from the board engineer is January 21st, 2026. Have you had an opportunity to review that specific report?
I have.
Are there any issues within that report that you believe we cannot address as a condition of approval?
There's a couple items as it relates to the variances, which obviously the planner will get into. Short of that, there's the buffer variance, the setback variance. I went and had the opportunity to talk to Mark earlier this week. We went through the drainage. We've explained to him that it is an existing drainage basin that's out there that's functioning as it's supposed to. I believe that addressed, Mark, I don't want to speak for you, but I believe that addressed many of your concerns. And we can take care of the, what I call the dot in the I's and crossing the T items in the report. If we need to go through them item by item, we can, but I don't know if there's necessarily a need to do that.
It's relatively simple from an engineering point of view. That's why it's been so brief. That's fine.
Mr. Rasmussen, any comment?
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the applicant's engineer said in my latest report, January 21st, 2026, you did agree to meet all of them. There's a comment in there with regard to removing asphalt around the stormwater basin. So you're agreeing to remove some of that asphalt that was all paved. I believe you said 2005, 2006.
I don't believe we're looking to remove that. If that's in the report, I don't remember seeing it. But there is pavement, I'll go back to this, which is around the perimeter of the basin. Like I said, that was installed in that time frame. The applicant's looking to maintain that.
My concern with the pavement around that basin is the potential for contaminants getting directly into the storm basin, and then tying into our stream. So I'll give you the item number. It is 4B.
4B. Correct. So
And if the building is for all the material that you have stored out there to go inside the building, then why would you need that area around the basin, which you're using for storage?
okay, it's not for all the material. It's for a lot of the material that's in the existing Connex and storage boxes. We're looking to remove those boxes and put those materials and supplies inside the storage building.
When the operations witness gets up, there will be vehicle storage outside, not equipment or material.
Right, so you're going to have vehicle storage right up against the stormwater basin, and that is my concern.
So is there a way to put something to prevent any leaching over into the basin?
And we can look at that. I can tell you, obviously, most of these stored vehicles are brand new. So there's a minimal likelihood that they're going to be leaking material, liquids, and things like that. With that said, we can look at putting some type of barrier, sediment barrier around that perimeter as it enters the basin. Would have to go through that. We can look at that.
And then also, looking on some Google Earth images, you've had trailers stored inside the basin itself. It's a detention basin, so it's dry most of the time. And there's evidence that there was storage of boat trailers, it looks like. I'm not sure what kind of trailers. But no storage in the stormwater basin area.
I agree with you 100%. And I said the same thing when I saw some of those images.
So you're agreeable to that? No storage in the stormwater basin of vehicles of any sort?
Yes. There can't be storage in the basin itself. We understand that. Yes.
Only storage of rainwater.
Yes, exactly.
Agreed.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, they've agreed to all the comments in my review letter.
Thank you. Mr. Dockney, anything to add? All right.
Sorry, I don't think I have any questions for the engineer. I'll wait for the planner to go through his testimony and follow up, and then maybe there's some things in my report that maybe the planner addresses. Maybe it'd be better for the engineer, but I'll wait for the planner to testify first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments from the board?
At this time.
Ms. Delphiri, you can call your next witness.
What's the date of your report?
My latest report is dated January 20th. I sent it out on Tuesday afternoon, I believe.
I didn't see that one. Does anyone have extra? We could have our planner look at it quickly while we do our next witness. Is that possible? We'll give it back before he comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so it's clear, it's only a minor update to the last report that was issued in August of last year, I believe, or maybe it was October.
Give it back.
It was not, shouldn't be any crazy surprises either.
It's,
Thank you, sir. If you could raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you're going to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
If you could state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address, please, for the record.
Michael Resinetti, Resciniti, 67 Sandpiper Drive, Manalapan.
And Mr. Resinetti, what is your relationship to 700 Highway 33 LLC?
I'm one of the owners.
And also, what is your relationship with the Extreme Machines business that's located on the property?
I am the owner-operator of the business.
All right, how long have you been operating at this location?
Over 20 years.
Does your business have any state licensing for the sale of vehicles?
Yes. We have a motor vehicle license for retail new and used motor vehicles.
What types of vehicles are sold on site?
Mainly motorcycles, ATVs, UTVs, personal watercraft, trailers.
And what percentage of the vehicles sold are new versus used?
Majority is new. Probably 95% of the vehicles we sell are new.
What are the hours of operation for the Millstone Township portion of the business, first of all?
9:30 to 6:30, and that's Tuesday and Wednesday, and 9:30 to 7 on Thursday, and 9:30 to 4:30 on Saturday. And we're closed Sunday, Monday.
And will those hours differ for the Monroe Township portion if this were approved and constructed?
No.
So same hours?
Yes.
All right, and then
we do change our hours sometimes. It used to be 10 to 7, and we change it from 9:30 to 6. But I mean, those are our hours. So.
Again, now, if this were approved, we were talking about the building that you're proposing to construct. What would be stored within that building?
The new vehicles.
In the building, and equipment and material as well?
Yes, equipment and materials. Anything that's not allowed to be stored outside.
Will there be any repairs conducted in that building or in the parking lot adjacent to it?
No, all repairs are conducted inside Extreme Machines' main building, which is where our shop area is.
There's a paved area adjacent to the proposed building. What would be stored on that paved area?
The paved area is for new vehicles and customer vehicle parking.
And what would there be the reason that a customer would need to park a vehicle back there?
You can't fit them inside. You can't put everything inside. It's impossible.
Do they drive back there, or your people?
No, we would take them back there. Nobody drives back there. So they would drop them off in our back parking lot, and then one of our employees would bring the vehicles into the yard.
And how long is a typical vehicle stored within that area?
A typical vehicle, it could be a few days to a few weeks. Depends on the service being performed, availability of the parts, and whatnot to get it done. But as a business, we don't want things sitting there. The faster it goes in and out, the better it is for the business and the customer.
So there's no long-term storage of any kind?
If you consider the watercraft long-term storage, which is a few months, when they bring them in for winterizations, we'll park them back there until springtime. Then we'll do a spring prep on them, and the customer comes and picks them up.
Okay, and all of the vehicles that would be parked outside are functional, operational vehicles. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then you heard a comment about parking. You see the basin that's located on that diagram that's on the screen?
Yes.
You understand you cannot park or store anything within that area?
Yes.
Okay. That's all we have of this witness, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any questions or comment?
One.
Go ahead, you go.
You
Oh.
were first.
Okay. Do you have e-bikes there for sale? And
Yes.
so now with the new law, there has to be a license and insurance and so will you promote that as you sell these e-bikes to
Yes.
the residents? And is there a test area that these kids can, or people can, drive these areas on your property before they buy them, purchase?
The parking lot and is the only area we have, and in the back parking lot. So that's it. So they could test ride them there.
With the other parked vehicles that you're selling, there's room.
We don't do we don't do test rides though on that. Like if somebody came in and wanted to ride an e-bike,
You're not going to show them how to operate.
one of our salespeople would, yes. But if they didn't buy it, they're not. We don't demo them. Just liability, especially if they're children or they're young.
Right.
It's different if you have a motorcycle license and you want to demo ride a motorcycle on public roads.
Mhm.
But for them to take an off-road vehicle like a bicycle on our property, the salesperson can do it. They can show them how to operate it and they could ride it around, but not the salesperson ride it around, but not the consumer until they buy it. Once they buy it, it's theirs. They can do what they want.
So you don't do you give them an area where they can go, like ATVs, what properties they can go to or anything?
Oh, yeah. It's not our property, but there's other properties out there that they can go to ride.
Okay,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of residential kids that have been on the street and, so
And that's why
I think that I would like to put that onto the seller,
Mhm.
the dealership or whatever, that they're responsible to notify them where they can
Oh, yeah.
safely ride.
And the e-bikes you're talking about are cheap Amazon e-bikes that kids are riding. The bikes we sell from Segway, thousands of dollars. The adults buy them, and they're not buying them for kids. They're very expensive.
So, and also,
But we do, yes, all the salespeople, no matter what we sell, if it's e-bikes, motorcycles, ATVs, they do go over to safety with them, and they do give them places that they can legally and safely ride. Because with off-road vehicles, your own property, if it's legal, depending on the township, and then there's a couple areas in New Jersey, and that's it.
yeah.
So.
And the batteries for charging and everything, you have to give them all warnings,
Yeah, the manufacturer
recommendations.
takes care of that. They give us what's called a PDI, pre-delivery inspection sheet,
Mhm.
and that sheet covers the proper use and maintenance, storage, charging, safety phone numbers, training phone numbers, and all that's given to the customer.
Okay, and they're stored in the building. They're going to be stored in this pole barn or whatever it's called.
E-bikes are almost non-existent. We have like 4 or 5 e-bikes. It's not really big for us. It's more of a fad, I guess. People
Okay.
were buying bikes, so we picked up a few from Segway because we sell the Segway brand.
Mhm.
But it's not.
Yeah.
We're not storing tens or dozens or hundreds of e-bikes.
Okay, because I'm concerned about the noise. They're very loud and everything, so that was my concern about the e-bikes and ATVs and the motorcycles.
Well, everything we
Good.
sell from the manufacturer meets the EPA standards for emissions. They all have catalytic converters, and they're all quiet. The loud ones you hear when people modify them.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
I know you can't give me a nailed down answer, but as in general, how often do you think deliveries will be coming to the Monroe Township property to be stored or whatever? How often would trucks be coming in to deliver?
We get trucks every day, but they deliver in the main building. We have the loading dock in our main building.
Oh, got it. So that's the Millstone delivery.
Yeah, that's where we take deliveries.
Right. When this building, the 7,000 square foot building, is set up, and that'll be mainly for storage, so forth, how often would you expect deliveries to occur?
There will be no deliveries. There's no loading dock in that building. It can't accept deliveries.
So how?
So
So the question is, how do you take it from the main building and bring it to that building? And if so,
Yes.
how and how frequent? Is that
So the trucks would load or unload in our main building, and then we'd unload it with a forklift, and we drive the forklift back there and put it in the building.
And how frequently would something like this occur? The reason I'm bringing it up, so there was a previous discussion on this property back in 2025, and there was an issue where kids are on the street, kids are playing, and there was deliveries every single day with a large tractor trailer delivering stuff, and that did not work with a residential area nearby.
There's no residential streets, and that's just our parking lot. There's no roads. The only way you can get to our building is from State Highway 33. So there should be no kids riding bicycles down the highway to get there.
Okay.
But we're not going on any roads. We're just crossing our parking lot into the yard.
Gotcha.
Do you want me to point it out on there?
Please do.
Sure. So right there,
Mm-hmm.
that's our loading dock. So they would unload here.
Right.
We would bring them with the forklift across the parking lot into the yard, into the building. So we're just going, that's our parking lot. That's it. There's no other streets. So there's no access from Farrington to our property.
Okay.
Only the entrance here on 33 and the exit here on 33. And there's just a giant warehouse, trucking warehouse. We're going to talk about trucks coming in and out every day.
Right.
That's a main hub right there. And Amazon too, non-stop trucks coming down the street.
Mhm.
And then there's just Woods here and then Baker's.
Okay. Thank you.
You mentioned that the lot is once they're sold, you can't dictate what they do with them.
Correct.
So what prevents them from like just going around the circle, or do you have any signage or something that prevents? Because it could be, I could see being dangerous if they're riding around these vehicles around that building.
All right. So if it's a street legal vehicle, it's delivered here in the front parking lot.
Yeah.
And they get on it and then they ride out and they go home wherever they're going. If it's an off-road vehicle, it gets loaded into the back of their pickup truck or their trailer. And we'll either load them in the front if they park in the front, or if they park in the back, we will load them in the back. But they do not ride around the property.
Okay, that's yeah.
No. Just like we don't do demos for e-bikes for liability reasons. We don't want people riding off-road vehicles.
I meant this is post demo once they've purchased it. Not like the sales guy, but as long as
once they purchase it, we load it up into their
Right,
vehicle.
okay.
So they would have to unload it and go right. We would, if they did, it does happen. We've seen people out there, and we have to go out there and tell them to stop. Load it up and go home.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, it was mentioned before that you're going to eliminate the cargo boxes and all that material is going to go in these buildings. So
Yes.
you're agreeable to not have any cargo boxes on this site once this building's built?
If they're not permitted, then yes, they will remove them all.
Yes, they're not shown on your site plan, so they would not be permitted.
Yes, then they would be removed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Don't leave.
Oh, no,
You sit there. John. Do you need that report back, whoever gave it to us? Thank you. John, did you absorb it?
I did.
Okay, good.
They changed the date.
Get sworn in.
If you could raise your right hand, you swear the testimony you're going to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
If you could state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address for the record, please.
State my name. Hi, my name is John Tykina. It's T as in Thomas, A-I, K as in Kelly, I-N as in Nicholas A. My business address is 30 Newman Road, Kendall Park, New Jersey, South Brunswick, right next door. I'm a licensed planner in the state of New Jersey, have been since 1992 when I completed my studies at Rutgers University. The last 33 years I've been doing this, testifying before planning and zoning boards around the state and across the country on behalf of applicants just like this. I was last in Monroe in 2022, I believe it was. And it's nice to be back.
Thank you. Credentials accepted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're at the planning board, so it's a permitted use, but there are some variances that are required for the development of this portion of the property. Would you run through those variances and put the support on the record, please?
Certainly. So we are here for a little bit of variance relief. it's always nice to work with Rob and Sal. They always get everything on the record ahead, so I don't have to take care of the math. But in terms of our variances, we require a lot depth variance. We only have 469 feet, where 500 feet is required. That's an existing condition. We're not going to change. That's a C1 variance. We have a front yard setback that's required for this accessory warehouse. Required is 60 feet. We're proposing 45 feet. That's from the new Farrington Lane there that was kind of imposed on us after the fact onto the development. We have a rear yard setback for the accessory warehouse. 20 feet is required. We have about a foot, and that is a factor of the township boundary running through the middle of us. So it cuts us in half, and it makes our lot. It gives us a lot line kind of in the middle there, which isn't too fair. Our buffer from Farrington Boulevard, again, required is 100 feet. We're at 0 feet because, again, Farrington Boulevard was imposed on us. We didn't, it wasn't part of we weren't part of that development. They chose to put their road right against that boundary. And we also required to have a buffer berm there, which would be 6 feet, and we're existing is none. And we're proposing none. We have alternative buffering that's proposed through the fencing and the landscaping, including the landscaping that is to be installed by the developers of Farrington Boulevard. And then finally, we have a fence that exists at 10 feet. It's permitted at 3 feet in the front, 6 feet in the side. The fence functions as a rear yard condition, despite the technical frontage. Again, we think having everything fenced in is a nice way to operate. Again, this will be better in that with the new storage building, all of the what I'll call stuff is going to be inside. So there'll be no outside material storage, so to speak. The only thing that will be outside is vehicles. And vehicles are something that is ordinary and customary with a new vehicle dealership to have vehicles parked outside. So there's nothing untoward about having our vehicles parked outside. If this was a new Ford dealer, we'd have them, parked along the street and we'd have them displayed and everything else. We just choose not to display our power sports vehicles because some of them are small enough you can pick them up and throw them in your Ford pickup truck. And it's better to have them fenced in so that doesn't happen to us. The site remains substantially underdeveloped relative to the zoning allowances. Again, our coverages comply, et cetera. We are consolidating the two lots. So again, the Monroe portion is about 11 acres in and of itself. We have a very large open space piece, so we don't have to worry about coverage and all those things. And we'll make sure, I'm sure Rob will make sure that he takes care of Mark's drainage comments, and we're not going to have any problems there. Again, these are new vehicles, so again, we don't expect any issues with leakage and all those types of things you'd expect to be concerned about from off-road vehicles. In terms of our variances, again, there's four findings you need to make. One, it relates to a specific piece of property. Two, we advance some of the purposes of zoning. Three, we either have a variance that's C1 that relates to a specific physical condition or unique condition that is present on this lot and this lot alone. And we certainly have that here with the irregular shape and with the fact that our municipal boundary cuts us in half and kind of doesn't give us a lot of benefits in terms of how it impacts our setbacks and buffers. And then finally, that we satisfy negative criteria. We're not going to be substantial detriment to public good. We're not going to be a problem to our neighbors. And we're not going to have a substantial impairment to your zone plan or your master plan as it relates to the Route 33 corridor or to your HD zone. So again, this relates specifically to 700 Route 33, no other property. Granting relief here for this accessory 7,000 square foot building does not convey any precedent to any other property in the township. Everybody has to make their own case. In terms of our positive criteria, the purposes of zoning would be advancing. Purpose G, to promote sufficient space in appropriate locations for a variety of uses in accordance with their environmental requirements. Purpose I, to promote a desirable visual environment through coordinated development and good civic design and arrangement. And M, to encourage the coordination of the various public and private procedures affecting land development with a view towards lessening the cost of such development and to the more efficient use of the land. So again, we have sufficient space on the site, even with its irregular shape. We're well below coverage limits. Again, the site is not overdeveloped. It is an appropriate location for this use, permitted in both zones, in both townships. We are promoting desirable visual environment by taking this storage building and putting things that are currently stored outside and in storage boxes and things like that, and putting them in a permanent building. That's certainly going to promote a more desirable visual environment for the township. And we are encouraging the coordination here. The hardest thing, and unfortunately Monroe actually has a couple of them, the hardest thing to do in this business is to be in two townships. And the only thing that's worse is to be in two townships and two counties. And that happens sometimes too.
It happens here.
It happens here. Exactly, it happens here.
Welcome to Monroe.
Exactly. I worked on the hotel over at 8A, that's in South Brunswick and Monroe, for about 20 years. So again, it's one of the hardest things. So again, providing that coordination between the two districts, the two townships, two counties, etc., is extraordinarily difficult. And any way that we can provide some relief there to make it somewhat reasonable is always a good thing. So again, we think that this site does that. We think the building is appropriately located. We recognize Farrington Boulevard came in after the fact and kind of stuck us into our front yard when this really should have been something that is in our backyard. But we recognize that, and we think that providing the fencing, providing the landscaping that we're doing, and putting the storage inside a building is certainly giving visual benefits to the township. We think, as I said, most of these are C1 variances that relate to the specific shape of this property with its irregularity as we come to that corner. The fact that we end up with two front yards in two different townships, we end up with a line in between that produces kind of strange setbacks for us. So again, we think the building is appropriately located. We think it's going to be appropriately buffered and screened as it needs to be from Farrington Boulevard, which is an industrial road. And we are, again, as you can see from A1, we don't have any homes near us. We're not impacting any residents in any way, and we actually don't impact Farrington Boulevard in any way. There's no access out there. There's no access from that side. We're not getting any deliveries there, etc. We relate to Route 33 solely. So again, the fence and the buffer will be there once the developer of Farrington Boulevard gets finished. They'll have all that landscaping installed along Farrington Boulevard, and it will look like a finished and complete project. Again, the storage is low intensity use. There's no increase really in traffic or circulation conflicts. We're just taking things that are currently outside, putting them inside. The existing fencing and proposed landscaping is going to enhance that buffering. And then finally, in terms of our no impairment to the zone plan and the master plan, the variances reflect the site and roadway conditions and the unique conditions of those lots. The use and scale are appropriate in the HD district. The deed restriction that's proposed prevents the use from functioning by itself. So it's always going to be associated with the use at 700 Route 33, and it's never going to be on its own. And we don't undermine the HD zone plan or master plan. Your master plan encourages commercial development in the Route 33 corridor. Specifically, it encourages infill development in developed areas of the town, again, so that we're sprawling out less. And this is exactly that type of infill, really finishing off an existing parcel in the township that has been developed for more than 20 years and improving it by putting those things inside the building. And by doing that, we're in no way going to impair the intent of the HD district. So for those reasons, I believe you have the ability to grant the relief requested. I'm available for your questions.
Doctor? I assume that's on. I'll use both so you can definitely hear me.
Double barrels.
All right. First question, I think you said it pretty well, that one of the most difficult things to do to take a relatively simple application and make it as complicated as possible is to place it in multiple jurisdictions here. So if you don't mind, can you provide a brief summary of, there seems to be quite a bit of history on this with this property and previous approvals granted and conditions of those approvals within Millstone. And is there anything, in your opinion, that would impact any conditions imposed on the operation of this business by Millstone that might impact the way that it operates, the Monroe portion in any way?
No, the Millstone approval envisions this area as a storage area, and we're continuing that. We're just putting 7,000 feet of it in the building.
Okay, so I just received them a couple of days ago. I've skimmed through the resolutions of approval from the Millstone Zoning Board, and it seems one of their conditions was no outside storage. I assume they were interpreting that similar to the way we're interpreting it here, and that means general materials, and that as a vehicle dealership, you're allowed to store a full new vehicle outside. But
correct, no stuff, but you can park it. You can park a vehicle.
But
There's a long history of issues and disputes between my client and Millstone that are ongoing sometimes. I'm not sure if they're concluded or not yet. But outdoor storage in Millstone is governed by whatever Millstone's regulations are. So they have no control over what we do in Monroe Township.
I guess what I'm sort of getting, it almost seems like to some degree there's been outdoor storage going on for quite a while in Monroe, but not in Millstone. And almost you've been saying to Millstone, don't worry, we're not storing things outside in Millstone, we're storing them outside in Monroe. Just notice that looking at all the Google aerials. But essentially what you're proposing to do here is take most of the stuff that's currently being stored outside and put it inside.
And not stored in Monroe currently and put it inside. Not
inside the new building.
Inside the new building.
So
But it's already stored in Monroe Township. It's just
it's not sitting outside rather than being in a building.
Correct.
Okay, because Monroe also does not allow outside storage of materials.
We agree.
Okay, and you are agreeing you're not going to store any materials, only actual vehicles outside?
Only vehicles.
Okay. Okay. Next question. First, I was a little curious as to why the much larger property is being included as a part of this tract. It seems like no improvements are being proposed on the larger property with the exception of a little bit of landscaping. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then by essentially including this property as part of the overall calculations of things like lot coverage, things are, I noticed most of that property seems to be already under a conservation easement. So it appears, and I'll let you answer, that property through this would effectively become almost entirely preserved as open space. Is that?
It will be what it is. I don't want to comment on its preservation status or not. It's largely undeveloped. It will remain undeveloped until we propose to do something else with it.
Generally agree that by consolidating the lots and having a new principal use associated with the Extreme Machines and Millstone, it would be essentially very difficult to do anything on that property without seeking several use variances before the zoning board?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, I think you hit on all the variances required, and I'm generally satisfied with that testimony. A few other questions I think are related to, could be you answering or it could be the engineer. Can one of you address the lighting? Is there any, I think there was some building mounted lighting proposed for the storage facility?
Our engineer could do it.
Proposing one building mounted light on the front face of the proposed storage building. And that's for just this time of year when it gets a little dark earlier, it'll light up that front area.
Okay, and how high is the light?
It's 20 feet.
20 feet? Okay, and you already have the fence around the perimeter there is already 10 feet high?
That's correct. And
Okay.
it's a downward aiming light.
Okay, thank you. Screening. And there's not going to be any kind of mechanical equipment on the roof of this new building, is there?
No, the only thing we have is the AC condensers, which are shown on the site
Okay,
plan.
so great. No need to screen anything on top, just to clarify that. Parking. Now, did you have, I don't think I need to go through them, but the additional lighting and landscaping comments we had in our review letter, was there anything in there that you had any objections to complying with? I think many of you had already complied with previous submitted plans, actually.
Yeah, the landscaping along Farrington Boulevard is part of the Riverside development.
Okay.
That's installed as part of that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we had already noted that. That's fine. Okay. Otherwise, we just asked for some clarification. Do note there's also, I would probably consider this a design waiver. Sidewalks are required along all frontages. Would you, I don't know if I would want to see sidewalks here, but in your opinion, is there any need for sidewalks along these frontages?
There is not.
And this is it's really warehouses around
So you
here.
got the Amazon and the trucking business along Farrington and then Route 33 on the other side.
Thank you. I think that covers everything in our report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to talk about the landscaping. It doesn't appear that much of that landscaping is in along Farrington Boulevard. Farrington Boulevard is built years ago, so I don't know if the landscaping has died out there, or whether or not it's been installed to your plan. But you're before us for a site plan for your application. You're required to have a buffer along the frontage of a roadway. That roadway is there. Are you proposing to install the landscaping that's shown on your plan?
What was
Along
put on the
along
plan was what
Farrington?
we were asked to put on the plan as it related to what was proposed and approved as part of the Riverside. So what's shown on our plan is what was approved for the Riverside development. That's what we did, is show that on the plan. Our understanding is it's going to be installed as part of that development. When, I don't know when that's going to be. That's my understanding.
So I'll tell you now, Farrington Boulevard is built. The developer is done with the project. Bonds have been released for several years. And I will note that this application came here 9 years ago. It started at this board in 2017. So whether or not the road was built in 2017, I don't recall. But at the time that this application was submitted 9 years ago, things have changed out there. The road is built. I don't believe whatever you're showing on here. I don't know what's installed along Farrington Boulevard. But again, you're before us asking relief of our buffer ordinance for a variance from putting in the buffers. If it's not there, it needs to be there. And you're not meeting the 60 feet, so you're asking for that variance, and the board can decide. You ask for relief of putting in a berm, but landscaping is shown on your plan, and you need to provide landscaping.
Rob, can you point to the areas on the plan where we're talking about the landscaping?
So the proposed landscaping that's shown on our plan is along the curved part of Barrington Boulevard. Again, our original plan did not show the landscaping there. One of the design comments or review comments was, please show the landscaping that was part of the Riverside development. So we just copied that off of that plan. But if it needs to be there,
If it's, I
We'll
was
put it in.
concerned that it was along that entire open space area, but if it's just to the rear of where we're proposing the development, the applicant would install those.
It's along your frontage of Farrington Boulevard behind your, I'll call it your existing lot,
so it's in this area.
as opposed to the additional lot that you're adding.
That's fine. So the applicant would agree.
Okay, thank you. And the last thing, there was an access restriction as well to Farrington Boulevard behind your existing facility. You're still agreeable to that access restriction to Farrington
Yes,
for the portion behind your.
that's correct.
Yeah,
That's fine.
thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chairman.
Any questions from the board?
I have one of the planner. Okay. Do you want to take your seat? I don't know.
I can do it either way.
Yeah.
This
You're
is actually the
multitasking. Okay.
biggest thing in my career is I've learned how to testify sitting down. When I was young, I couldn't do it. So, name it.
I never presented anything sitting down. Never got used to it. But
Right.
be that as it may.
It's very hard.
If hypothetically, all of the property was in Monroe Township or one township, doesn't matter which, how many of the C variances that you've testified to would be eliminated? Approximately.
The rear yard, just the rear yard variance would be eliminated, because our rear yard variance is generated by the boundary. The side yard, the front yard variance would remain. Again, that front yard was imposed on us by Farrington Boulevard. Again, as part of our original property, Farrington Boulevard wasn't there. If the road would have been somewhere else on their
I
property.
wish you wouldn't characterize it quite that way, being imposed on you on it.
It was.
The road was
That's
built.
that's what it was. That property owner decided to run their road adjacent to our boundary, which made that piece of us a front yard. That is a
But
hardship
the
on
end
us.
result is that if you eliminated that boundary line between the two municipalities, the variance associated with that boundary line is the only variance that would be allowed.
Correct, just one.
Just one. Okay, thank you.
The rest of it's by the shape and the rest of the
Okay.
physical characteristics.
And just to be sure, you offered testimony that is often related to an application under the D section of the statute.
but there's no use variance involved.
No, there's no
Okay.
no D variance, but the finding that you advance purposes of zoning are specifically for C variances as well, and negative
Great.
criteria is always there.
He knows that.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, do you have any further
That
witness?
concludes our presentation.
Okay, is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this? Michelle?
You want to sit here?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm getting up.
Do you swear the testimony or comments you provide are the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Absolutely,
If you
yes.
could state your name and spell your last name and give us your address, please, for the record.
Sure. Michelle Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. You want my spelling of my last name? Arminio. I came in late, so I apologize for that, but I'm sorry? 9 Nathaniel Street. The thing that hit me on this application is, what does it mean when someone says, when there was a question asked, I believe by the planner, and the answer of the applicant is, it will be what it is. Can that be further qualified for the public, please?
Yeah, I could tell you. The question related to that large green area and whether anything was proposed there, and the answer was no. That's what it's going to look like. It's not being touched.
So it's not being touched for now. There seemed to be an implication that in the future it might be
The
changed.
question was no. The question was that if you did decide to do something, you'd have to go to the zoning board for a use variance, and we agreed that that would be the case. But there's no.
Okay.
And there are conservation easements there. I just don't know what the limitation of those easements are. specifically.
That was going to be my next question. Are there wetlands there,
There may be.
and/or conservation?
If anything were ever proposed there, we'd have to deal with wetlands, conservation easements, and zoning. So, but there's no intent because it's going to be virtually impossible to get there once that building's installed. How would you even get? You can't enter off Farrington.
So is it a conservation area in its entirety or partially?
I don't know the answer to that.
The plans provided show two relatively large conservation. It looks like most of the northwest portion and then the southeast portions are under conservation easements. And then there's maybe a few acres in the middle that are not.
And do we have an answer? Can the planner answer about the wetlands?
Mr. Chairman, I can jump in here. That lot was approved when Farrington Boulevard went in as one of the developable lots. There's really, as our planner mentioned, there's a conservation easement and wetlands to, I'll say, the north end and the southeast end. There is some uplands right in the middle that have frontage on Farrington Boulevard. So right now, so there is some buildable area in the middle, so to speak, with only access to Farrington Boulevard. They could not physically get from their existing site where the building's proposed over to that uplands. They would have to cross. There's drainage easements. There's wetlands in there, and probably a little bit of floodplains. But there is an upland area. So as they agreed to in the future, if they come to try to do some development on there, they'd have to come to the board.
Thank you. As a member of the public, I appreciate the succinctness of an answer and not a vague answer. It is what it is. It's not acceptable. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wish to be heard? Okay. Is there a motion to close the public portion for this application?
So moved.
Second. Okay. Is there a motion? I understand there's a preliminary and a final being on the table tonight. And there's also some commentary. I know Mr. Rasimowitz mentioned about some type of boundary or barrier around the detention basin. Is there any type of application with respect to that?
I'll share. I think we covered a lot here, so I would move to approve a preliminary and preliminary only, with the understanding that the applicant will follow the directions or the recommendations of both our engineer and our planner in what to do next. And when they come back with that, then we can discuss final.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Mr. Rothman?
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Mr. Butinsky?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Yeah.
Chairman Gaffrey?
Yes. And can we get a copy of the transcript?
Yes, I'll email it to both of you. Thank you all.
Good job, way to go. Which we didn't have before.
Okay, thank you. Next application tonight is PB 1266-25 M&T Partners LLC. It's a request for a preliminary subdivision. Council, your appearance.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Jared Pape, on behalf of the applicant M&T Partners LLC. Would like to begin just to confirm that the legal notices that we provided are satisfactory. Mr. Vignola asked that you confirm that that to be the case.
And Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I can confirm that I did review the affidavits of mailing and publication, and the board does have jurisdiction to hear this application. And anticipating my chairman's request, if we could ask for a copy of the transcript be provided, also like the last application.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
With the board's permission, I'd like to make a brief opening statement before we move to testimony, just to provide a bit of a background on this application.
You can proceed.
Thank you. Before you this evening is an application for preliminary major subdivision for 6 single-family residential lots, plus 1 additional lot containing 2 filtration basins that would be dedicated to the township. We want to emphasize at the outset that this is a fully conforming application with no variance relief being requested. As you'll hear in testimony, this property is in the R30 zone, although since it lies outside of the sewer service area and would be served by private well and septic, the R60 standards apply. For R60 zone, the R60 zone permits single-family dwellings and requires a minimum lot area of 60,000 square feet. All 6 proposed lots exceed that minimum requirement and comply with all of the other R60 bulk requirements. The applicant, M&T Partners LLC, is comprised of 2 families, members of whom are present this evening. They purchased the property in 2021 and have since worked closely with our office, Sharif Ali of Amertech Engineering, and environmental professionals to really investigate the site and develop the conforming plan that's before you tonight. A significant part of that investigation involved in identifying environmental constraints on the property. The property does contain wetlands, which have been delineated and confirmed by the NJDEP. And in fact, of the 20 acres or so of the property, only about 6 acres are proposed to be disturbed, and the majority will remain undisturbed. The applicant has also designed the project to comply with the current state stormwater regulations. We acknowledge there's some comments from your board's engineer, which we're prepared to address in testimony. So just wanted to emphasize that the plan before you tonight is the result of extensive collaboration, not only among the applicant's professionals, but also from township staff through 2 technical review meetings that we've participated in so far. And the result is the conforming variance-free application. So with that, we are prepared to proceed to testimony if the board has no questions at this time.
You can proceed.
If you could raise your right hand, you swear that the testimony... You want to raise your right hand? You don't even listen to me, Sharif. You swear the testimony you're going to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
If you could state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address for the record, please.
Sharif Ali, A-L-Y.
Okay. You've been before this board many times and your credentials have been accepted. No need to
Yes.
proceed.
seen
Thank
it
you.
at least once or twice.
In the last 30 years. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Ali, I'll pass it to you to walk through the existing and proposed locations of this site.
Yes, so you heard we, lot 11, tax map lot 1105 in block 2. That's the second block, all the way down by Millstone. That is probably the intersection of Disborough Road and North Disborough Road is the first intersection on the west, the southwestern side of Monroe. So we all the way by Millstone, Monmouth County, in that area there. So the site, you heard that it's about 20 acres plus. It's vacant, wooded area. I would say 2/3 of the site is occupied by flood hazard, as shown on the tax map, as well as wetlands. The wetlands was already verified by the state through what we know, a lot of interpretation, and it's still valid. So we have quite a bit of frontage here on Disborough Road and North Disborough Road. I don't know when the town is going to change one of the names, but that's what we have there. Just for the record, Millstone, they don't call it Disborough Road, they call it Etra Road. So that's what we have there. So the site, as you see on the exhibits, you want to call that A1?
Call this A1?
A1?
Yeah, we can call this Exhibit A1 if you could just describe what that is.
So, here. Thank you. So, A1 is the landscaping plan put together in one sheet from the set. And you could see on in A1 the distribution of the 6 conforming lots. So we happen to be in the R30, but as you know, this area of Monroe, it's all on septics and wells and electric for the most part. We're paying electric. So the distribution of the lots, you will see 3 lots on North Disborough Road, which is, I would say about 80% of that road is fully improved, except along the frontage of our side. The other side is already curb sidewalks and pavement up to the curb. And part of this application will be improving our side with curb and sidewalk to match the opposite side. Disborough Road, which is almost about a half a mile, it's a very, very long lot. That lot, the end of the lot, the western side of that lot, it's about 450 feet, more or less, from the intersection of Butcher Road. The other side of Butcher Road, as we all know, is the landmark there is Monroe Manor. So we're not that far from there. So we happen to be in the R30, but since we are on septics and wells, same as the rest of the neighborhood, now we are being penalized and going to R60. So even though with that, each one of the lots in full conformance with the bulk requirement. Just about every one of the bulk requirement. So this is a variance-free free applications. And again, back to the layout and the distribution of the lots, you will see 3 lots on North Disborough Road and 3 lots on Disborough Road. And part of the what we are proposing here, in addition to landscaping along the frontage of the improved lots, portion of the lot, we also have stormwater detention that meets the PMP and the green infrastructures. And we happen to be also in the RCC zone, so that will require quite a bit of review from state employees that they work for the RCC. So that's pretty much in a nutshell that what we have here.
Mark, do you have any comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The board's in receipt of my August 7th, 2025 review letter. So the original testimony started that this was fully conforming and no variances are requested. But I'm looking, I don't see buffers. I don't see curbs and sidewalks along the entire frontages of the property. So I'm somewhat confused by the comment that there's no variances. So are you now proposing 60-foot wide buffers and curbs and sidewalks along your entire frontage?
Mr. Razuma, we were referring to the bulk requirement,
Okay.
not the ordinance in full.
Thank you. So are you proposing curb and sidewalk along your entire frontage?
So curb and sidewalk, in my testimony, I indicated that on North Disparho Road that would be provided. The half a mile run of Disparho Road, we only be improving, doing a right-of-way dedication along the entire frontage there of Disparho Road. We will be doing limited pavement up to the future lots on the two future lots on I would say the eastern lots on Disparho Road, as well as the third lot, which is kind of like halfway into the wooded area there along the side frontage. No curb, just pavement and sidewalk at the beginning nearby the intersection, and no pavement widening for the rest of the entire road, but we'll be dedicating the required right-of-way.
So you'll provide a 25-foot half-width right-of-way
Yes.
dedication, and what is the width of the roadway that you're paving it to? A half-width of 15 feet, I believe your plan shows?
The existing out there is about 10, 11 feet. It depends on where on the road, and we're adding another 4 feet.
So a half-width of 15. And that's going to be through lots from the corner of North Disbro down through lots 11.17?
1117.
So those 5 lots will all be connected with sidewalks and curbing and road widening, correct?
Yes. And just for the board, so what we're talking about is that full improvements, including the addressing the intersection of the two roads. So we are on North Disparho Road. That will be full improvements. The improvement that we are talking, in addition to giving the right-of-way, will only be limited to adding 4 feet of pavement up to the driveway of future lot 1117. And also along the improved area of lot 1118. And just for the record, there is no, this road, it's only about, I would say 18 to 20 feet in width. There is no pavement, there is no sidewalks out there. There is no curb out there on Monroe side or on Millstone side. This is our area that it's been that way since Monroe been on the map.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's also been a wooded lot without any homes on the property as well. The intersection at North Disbro Hill and Disbro Hill, the alignment of that intersection, or right now it's on a sharp angle. It doesn't come to a 90-degree T. Are you improving that to get to a more of a 90-degree? Can you elaborate on what improvements you're doing at that intersection?
Yes. So on sheet 4 of 11, there is enlargement of what we are proposing at the intersection. That will be somewhere between 8 to 10 feet of additional widening there to smooth and to have the intersection or to define the intersection to allow for a vehicle to come from Disparow Road, making that right from North Disparow Road to make that right turn into Disparow Road. We're also adding ADA improvement there, a flush curb, a ramp, and a landing area, and we add in a sidewalk in that area, along with the upgrading the stop sign and the stop bar to be more up to moderation.
I'd like to see a turning template on that to show that now that we have, or now that you're proposing homes along Disborough Hill, garbage trucks will have to get there. That a garbage truck can make that right turn and maneuver that, and if not, open that up, to a little bigger radius so that they can maneuver.
Yes, we'll work. Mark will work with your office and will address the item. Yes.
Also have several comments in my letter with regard, particularly lot. I'm sorry, I believe it's 1118. A large lot. It's about 10 acres, roughly. It's the lot all the way to the left on your diagram up there.
Yes, I made a reference to as 1118. It
Yes.
is 1118.
So I have a lot of stormwater comments, road improvement comments, and how are they being addressed? There's a culvert pipe. There's some stream. My concern is maintenance of that of these areas that would, under your proposal, be on private property. And I would add the last thing on that is that lot, that house would sort of be out there all by itself and without any connections to curbing and sidewalk to the other 5 homes. So
that is
a
true.
concern.
Yes. So the the layout, as you see on the subdivision, that area is not, that lot is not in the wetlands. There's some buffers that will be addressed with the state DEP. As far as the stormwater, as I mentioned, it actually is going to be reviewed by 2 agencies, DRCC, which they get very involved. That's what they're all about, stormwater. So we'll go there and we'll get the approval, but as well as DEP, because we have also wetlands and we are disturbing some of the wetlands. So we'll address most of the drainage. Keep in mind that road is shared by Monroe and Millstone. I'm not sure when last time Public Works paved the road. I do agree it's not really in a good shape. I don't know if that road has got a heavy traveling vehicles on or not, but I can tell you that yes, North Disparow Road is being used by the residents. I don't believe that road is being used by Monroe resident, maybe a few Monroe residents, but again, that road is about a half a mile. What we will offer to the town is that to improve, as shown on the subdivision, to improve only the area in front of the future resident. But you're right, Mark, that particular lot, 1118, will be sitting there by itself, just like across the street. You see, you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots, 5 large lots in Millstone. You see it on the map. So that lot pretty much will be the same as the one on Millstone Road. But yes, will be disconnected from the rest of the community on the east side.
Thanks. Well, I would not compare it to Millstone, our lot. I don't know what the parameters of those lots are in Millstone and what wetlands or floodplains there is. With this particular lot in Monroe, there's drainage on Disbro Hill Road that with storm piping on this proposed lot, 1118. There's a stream from Monroe Manor, where Monroe Manor drainage dumps onto this property, where there's been some flooding over the years since Monroe Manor was built. And again, my concern is now this roughly, well, I stand corrected, 10-acre lot, 8-acre lot, whatever it is, 1118, would now be a privately owned lot, and getting all drainage issues addressed would be problematic because it would fall on one property owner. Lastly is the house that you're proposing. There's several retaining walls around the property. My concern is no usable rear yard for the property. Not much of any usable yard, even in the front, due to the slopes and the retaining walls. So, again, my recommendation, based on our ordinance, is the entire frontage of your parcel should be improved with curbs and sidewalks, and that includes lot 1118. Chairman, I don't believe I have anything else at this time. If there's some alternate to moving that lot, and that lot be shifted so it's closer to the other 5 lots, but I'll leave that up to the board. But
Okay, so I would like to, you have touched on a number of items. One of them is flooding in the area. So that is an issue. It's a global issue. It's a Monroe Township issue. If you remember, Monroe Manor did their part. The stream that you have there originates in Millstone, gets into Monroe. And if you look at the zoning map on the sheet, you will see Monroe Manor to the east, to the west, and Butcher Road. So the stream that Mr. Rosamond is referring to is behind the homes on the opposite side of Monroe Manor. And that from there, it goes into another branch, and it crosses the bridge, and I believe it's a county bridge, on North Disborough Road into Bentley Brook. So Monroe Manor, back in the 90s, when was permitted to do stream cleaning, and it's easy to get that permit from the state, they did their part. They did improve, they cleaned the ditch all the way up to Monroe Manor. This branch here of the stream, or the side of the stream here, that was never improved. That will be a very, very difficult permit to get from the state, to go there and clean the ditch. It's not gonna happen. So the best we could do is that, and what we have is that we have 2 detention basins to meet the requirement, or the state requirement, reduction requirement. So for the 100-year, we're reducing the runoff going into that area by 20%. For the 10-year storm, we're reducing it by 25%. For the 2-year storm, which is the most frequent storm that you see all the times, we're reducing it by 50%. So we did our part, and that was the reason for the stormwater regulation that we have in place right now. Going to the road itself, it's a shared road with Millstone. The pipes under the road, again, it's shared pipe with Millstone. To put everything on this developer here will be very difficult for him to achieve that. But I do agree with Mark. Yes, we have this lot by itself in there. Our ordinance has requirement for a backyard, and you see this requirement in the cluster zone, that you have to have a minimum of 30 feet of a backyard, 30 feet in depth. We have that. The reason we have the retaining walls, again, because the stormwater regulations limits and force us to contain a very small area to develop to avoid removal of trees and also to avoid increase of runoff. So we did our part. We have the retaining wall to limit the improvement on that lot, and we limited the tree removals on that lot as well as the other lots, and we reduced the runoff on site for the 6 lot. Again, for the 2 years, and we'll reduce it by half. So we did our part. We do recognize the road needs a special attention out there, but this is more of a global, issue, not just the developer here.
Chairman, again, it's a challenging lot, that 1118, to fit a house in there, due to all the wetlands and floodplains on the lot, and it would be isolated and not connected to the other 5 houses by curbs, sidewalks, or road widening. And are you agreeable to the rest of the comments in my August 7th, 2025 review letter?
Yes, the rest of the comment, as I indicated, Mr. Rasmuth's office did a fantastic job here. We're talking about 9 pages, a lot of stormwater comments, and as I indicated, that will be this application will be reviewed by the State of New Jersey DEP Wetlands and Flood Hazard Section, will be reviewed by the RCC. Once we receive the approval from them, we're going to come back and revisit some of the items, address what has not been addressed with the state, and we'll be fully compliant with that. The only items that we would like to, from the report, that we would like to get a waiver on is the item of doing a full improvements along Disborough Road. As I explained before, we'll limit our improvement in front of the 6 lots. I'm sorry, the 3 lots on Disborough Road. So that's one waiver that we'd like to get. The second, and that waiver is item is on page number 3 of 9, and it's item 2. So that's the one, item 2P, which is similar. We'll address that. That's not a problem at all. The second waiver that we are, and we talked about it, is putting on this applicant the improvements in cleaning up all of the stream on site or downstreams, or doing investigation or trying to figure out what's the issue. That is too much, and that is item 3B that would like to get a waiver from that item. The second waiver got to do again with the improvements of drainage in the area and pavement of that road, Disborough Road. That will be item 3C on page 4 of 9. It talks about the same thing. So that particular one is talking about an out parcel closer to Monroe Manor. They have some flooding issue on the out parcel. It shares the common property line. So it shared the common property line with this piece of ground. And that is this lot right here. They have a driveway, they have a culvert under the driveway, and the requirement is in the report is that they investigate why is the backup, again the backup because the downstream, and to improve the pipe under the driveway. So we would like to get a waiver from that. Again, that's part of the global problem that they have in the area there.
Chris, is there anything you want to?
No, I think Marcus covered everything pretty well there. I don't have anything to add.
Okay, anybody from the board wish to be heard?
And the other two waivers, if you don't mind, also related to that. Actually, it's been repeated twice in the report on page 8 of 9, item number 4. 4A is the same thing that we've been talking about, improvement along Disborough Road, and lighting, including lighting, which is item 5B on the same report. We'd like to get a waiver from that. Other than that, we will comply with the 9 pages on all the items in the report.
Mr. Chairman, in regards to the roadway improvements, there's no proposed improvements to the road resurfacing?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
There's no proposed improvements to the road resurfacing, just widening?
Just widening and resurfacing along the from the intersection halfway, Monroe half, all the way up to the driveway, and along the limited area of lot 1118, just along that tiny frontage there.
North and on North Disborough? No resurfacing, the center line?
No, that is in good shape there, the road. So we'll be adding another 5 to 6 feet of pavement, curb, sidewalks, street trees, and everything.
And as Mr. Rasimone stated, would you be open to, I'm very familiar with this intersection, pulling, whether it be landscaping, curbing back to meet that T intersection? Because it is a very tough intersection.
Yes.
To make a right turn onto Disborough Hill, especially with large trucks, whether township trucks or refuse trucks like he stated.
Yes, we can take the largest vehicle, probably the fire truck, and we'll do a template on it. But on the plan, it shows the improvement that we are proposing. What Mr. Rasimone said, just confirm by a template, a turning radius of the largest vehicle. In this case, will be a fire truck.
And in regards to lot 1118, as I'm very involved with stormwater management in the township of Monroe, there's a lot of hesitations with this lot with stormwater management, especially even the retaining walls where access and easements are going to have to be granted. Is there any alternative solution that you would be able to propose? I mean, to the board, just in regards to stormwater management, I would almost be, willing to say, could you eliminate this lot in this proposal?
So on that particular law by itself, we do have underground stormwater management to limit the runoff going out to the back area. And as I indicated that we cut off the 2-year storm by 50%, we followed the state regulations. So we do have that. Eliminating the lot, we're going to have to talk to our client about the applicant on that. But just keep in mind that we in the R30 zone, and we're being penalized because there is no sewer or water in the area to go to the R60, which is 1.5 acres. The alternative to that, we can take the 6 lots and keep them all, I'm just speaking out loud, keep them all in the area of what you see here at the intersection, and we'll go back to the R30, but that will require a bulk variance from the board. So there's so many ways of cutting this, and I think that will stay also with the board. I already checked on that. So, I mean, we can, if you give us 5 minutes, we'll talk to the applicant. And
I was just going to suggest, when we take a 5-minute break, you do what you have to with your clients.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
board's comments with the applicant. The applicant is willing to revise the plan to eliminate the lot that we're discussing. So a total of 5 lots, with the condition that the improvements along Disbro Hill Road, specifically the approximately 4 feet of pavement and sidewalk, would be extended through to the driveway of proposed lot 11.17, correct?
Yes.
And we would also note that westerly portion of the site, we would look to the township to the board for guidance, could either be annexed to lot 11.17, or if the township was willing, it could be dedicated to the township as open space. So those, I think, would be the topics for discussion at this stage.
So that said, Mr. Chairman, I would look at it be dedicated to the township. Obviously, ultimately, it'd be up to our council, but if they propose that, then, it'd be subject to council approval. So I would be more agreeable with the waiver as they indicated, essentially up to the driveway on lot 11.17. So that would essentially connect those 5 homes with curbs, with sidewalks to the existing community on North Disbro Hill. So they'll all be connected. So essentially it'd be a waiver of the improvements along lot 1118, I guess it is, and a small portion of lot 1117. So I would be more comfortable with that. As far as the other waivers with regard to the storm drainage comments I had, essentially, I would be more comfortable with those waivers because those are concerning this lot number 1118. So if it becomes township property, then, we can more easily address if there is an issue in the future. And those were more investigative for stormwater. And I think the last thing, with regard to street lighting, again, I would be comfortable with a waiver of street lighting and along the frontage of 1118. However, there would need to be some street lighting along where the homes are going. I don't know if there's existing utility poles, how you're getting electric out there, but we would look for the street lighting in the area of the homes if none exists. So, should you get approved tonight for the 5 lots, I would say as part of coming back with revised plans showing existing utility poles out there with existing street lights on it, and if none, we would look to add a street light in the area of those driveways. And that goes for North Disbro Hill Road as well, which I believe has some street lights on it. So that would be my comments.
Any other comments or questions?
I would just want to reiterate what was said before about the curve between North Disbro Hill and Disbro Hill. That looks like less than a 45-degree angle, and somebody in a rush to get to work, I could see where that could be a real challenge. So, yes.
Anyone else?
Step in for 1 second. I just want to make sure I understand what's being proposed and what Mr. Razumowitz has agreed was satisfactory with respect to the improvements on Disbro Hill Road. So it's going to be an addition of the pavement, a half-width paving up to the driveway of 1117. It's no curbs but sidewalks, or curbs and sidewalks?
What we...
Just trying to...
Curbs and sidewalks.
Yeah. Oh, you said curb and sidewalk?
He did.
Yes.
Yes. So I just wanted
to the driveway. I believe you said that too.
Right. No, I thought I said just
this is why
adding
I'm
the
asking.
pavement and the sidewalk and to keep the road. Thank you. Yes. No curb, just to keep the road consistent with the rest of the road.
Why do we have no curb? I was under the impression we were saying curb and sidewalk up to the driveway. And why couldn't we put curb?
There is a portion in between the two driveways that's in the wetlands, and it may be difficult to obtain that wetlands permit, but we'll try. We'll go to the state and we'll shoot for curb and sidewalk, and we can't get the permit, we'll get back to you on that.
What would hold our pavement in? You're doing pavement widening, 4 feet.
Just the rest
we
of
need
the
some
road.
curbing. of
Same
some
as the
sort.
rest of the road.
So my recommendation would be for curb and sidewalk up to the driveway 1117, and as this moves forward, if the EP turns it down, then we'll have to look at it and address it when you return. Can you get a depressed curb in there?
I see your concern, and I do agree with you. Edge of pavement gets eat up pretty bad by trucks. So if we cannot get a full face curb, yeah, we can give you a depressed curb.
Agreeable.
Anybody from the public wish to be heard on this application?
Sir, if I could just swear you in quickly, that way so do you swear any testimony you provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
If you could state your name, spell your last name, and give us your address for the record, please.
First name is Antal, Antal. Last name is Hilbert, Hilbert. 204 Disborough Hill Road, Millstone. We're neighbors. Just a couple questions about the build. The size of the houses, how big are the houses going to be square feet?
Yeah, so you want me to speak to that? This is all market driven, single family homes. It could be 2,400 square feet, it could be 5,000 square feet. So will be similar to the single family homes in Monroe. The trend out there right now is 4,000 and above. So.
Yeah, my concern is the value of the properties in the area. I mean, all the houses there are 3,000, 4,000 square feet. So to keep it so that, we don't lose value in our houses that are there already.
Yeah, so we are within the range. Yes.
Okay. The road improvement would be Monroe side only, not Millstone side. The road's going to be enlarged.
Yes, we're here in Monroe, and we only improve in the side of Monroe.
Side. Any idea when the project's going to start? I guess not until everything's finalized, right? No.
Good. We still have a few permits out there. Very tough to obtain. Very lengthy. Takes time. So we are talking about probably spring of 2027 if we're lucky.
All right. That is all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle.
Michelle Arminio, Arminio.
Hey, Mr. Arminio, I'm just going to mention for the record that you previously were sworn, and I'm just going to say you remain under oath.
Thank you.
You got it.
And I'm still honest, so I will say honestly.
Super.
Okay. So again, for some clarification, because I'm just, I'm not one of the professionals. At the onset, we were told this was a conforming application. So when you have a conforming application, does that mean no waivers? It's a question for clarification, please.
They conform to the overall minimum dimensions of the subdivision portion here. There are some waivers required for buffering, sidewalks, street lighting as well, and the curbing.
But again,
so it's not a fully by right application, if that's what you're asking.
It's not a fully what? I'm sorry.
It's not a fully by right. There are relief would be required by this board.
Yes, so I mean, again, clarification for the public, so a non-conforming, I thought that there wouldn't be no waiver, so when I swear to tell the truth, and I'm not suggesting that anybody isn't telling the truth, I think that, you know, the applicants have to tell the full detail of the application to the public, so that's just a comment. Also it was mentioned that something about a cluster zone application, the applicant was referring to if it were a cluster zone. It's not a cluster zone. There's no cluster zone ordinance at play here. Is that correct?
No, nothing in this application is proposing any cluster development.
Okay, so to suggest that, you know, well, I guess it's a moot point now if we're going to eliminate that, so I won't waste the board's time on that. All right. And environmental impact. Was there an environmental impact done on this property? The whole
Yes.
property? And is that available in our documentation?
Uh,
The town?
yes, and we already been before the Environment Commission, and we already received our
Okay.
approval from them.
Thank you. I'll take a look at that. And I agree that sometimes when there's too many issues with it, environmentally, flood, not conforming, I do agree as a member of the public that sometimes we should just eliminate lot. Just overbuilding is enough in this community, and sometimes properties just don't belong as being built, because very often after years of coming here, properties are built and then there's problems with them in the long run. It affects the community, it affects the homeowner. So I do think that in particular, this lot would have the lot that, again, sort of a moot point now, would have a negative impact on the future homeowner and possibly the flooding of the area. And when you have flooding in any area, it just gets exacerbated by the additional development. So I would ask this board also to agree with that. And I think there is no penalty that there's no sewer and water in this area. The applicant is calling it a penalty. I think that's why the state has no water, no potable water and no sewer areas for a reason. So it's not a penalty. It's just something that we have to protect our community and environment for. So I would just object again to it. But other than that, it looks like perhaps we're going in a good direction. So I applaud the board and the professionals for their input. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michelle. Anyone else wish to be heard? Hearing none, is there a motion to close the public portion for this application?
So moved.
Council, anything else?
Nothing further, Mr. Chair. We appreciate all the comments from the board members and board professionals. Thank you.
Okay. So the motion before this board is a preliminary. It's going to eliminate the one lot in question, and I think with Mr. Razamotz's recommendations.
Mr. Chairman, can we clarify the conditions that would be attached to the motion of approval? Because I'm a little confused as to what they're doing and what they're not doing in terms of site improvements.
You may know better than I, primarily your memo, but I think they're complying with your memo with the exception of, at this point, the paving and sidewalk and curbing past 1117's driveway. And then some intersection improvements, but you can, as I step on your toes.
You're doing good. So it would be agreeable to my letter, the exception of the curb, sidewalk, and road widening improvements west of the driveway for lot 1117. Gonna look at the alignment of the intersection, again, at North Disbro and Disbro Hill, to see if they can get that more into a 90-degree and ensure that trucks can make that, swing that right turn. With me. So, talked about the waiver of curb and sidewalks again, and road widening west of 1117's driveway. It would be a waiver of my item 3B, which talks about the culvert along the frontage of a lot 1118. It would be a waiver of my item 3C. That was 3B, 3C, which again talks about, investigating flooding and the existing drainage pipes along lot 1118. And
I think they were the lighting needs to be addressed at final.
be a
Yeah.
partial waiver of the lighting along lot 1118, and they're going to look at the lighting along where the homes are being proposed, and they would have to provide lighting if there is no street lighting out there near the proposed home.
And
I
if
think there was-
reworking the intersection creates a nonconformity, can the resolution indicate that that's a permitted variance?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
If reworking the intersection of Disbro and North Disbro creates a nonconformity for the corner lot, can the resolution indicate that that's not going to trigger any need for coming back for a variance?
Well, they got to come back for final anyway, so I would say that should be something they address at final if they need it. So we don't know what it is yet. We don't know how they're going to engineer it. So my recommendation would be if they need a variance because of the redesign of that intersection with respect to that lot, that's something they can request at final. They'll notice for it and we'll take care of it.
And Mr. Chairman, I don't see it triggering any variances. I've looked at it. I've looked at it with their engineer as well, and it's not going to trigger any additional variances.
Good.
Okay. Well, then, the motion before the board is
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
This does include the dedication to the township of lot 1118 as well, correct?
Subject to approval of the Township Council. Yep. And if for some reason we miss something and I have it in my notes, it'll still be in the resolution.
Right.
Just so we go on the record, does somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion.
Right.
Second?
No, you're making the motion.
Oh.
I'll make the motion as to approve subject to the conditions
Subject to all
identified by Mr.
conditions
Resmo.
on the
Yeah.
resolutions.
I'll second that.
Mr. Rothman?
Yes.
Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Mr. Manesh Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Damiani?
Yes.
Mr. Slavacek?
Yes.
Mr. Butinski?
Yes.
Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Mayor's representative, Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Chairman Gaffrey?
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And while you're wrapping up, we'll just move on the agenda.
No.
There's no resolutions.
Leaving the whole package here, right?
Anybody from the public wish to be heard on anything but the two applications? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public
Motion.
portion?
So moved.
Second. There are any discussion items? Hearing none, no correspondence. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Okay. Understand it's your birthday?
Yes.
It is?
Okay, Mr. Rothman's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How old are we?
This is how I'm feeling my birthday.
29.
Almost.